Welkom bij een nieuwe aflevering van de Data Discovery Channel. And switching to English because I should switch to German, but let's
English
not do
is okay
that.
too. Yeah.
That's a bit hard for us. Yeah.
But our next guest is Wolfgang Strasser. Welcome again, Wolfgang. You were here last year. I
Yeah.
believe it was last year.
Thanks for inviting me again. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's always good to have you. So, Wolfgang, you're an MVP. You're specialized in data governance and in Purview and Fabric and all kinds of things. You were also at FabCon in Vienna last week, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, something like this. Yeah.
Okay. Well, when we talk about governance, Mark and I had a session this morning about governance and trust models and how difficult it is to do governance, and basically impossible to do it entirely.
Yes.
What's your view on that? What are challenges that companies run into?
One of the first challenges is to define governance for the people, because when we talk like 3 people on the table, it's 5 to 15 different definitions of data governance, or what is included in data governance. And that is the first steps we have to do with the customers to talk and define what actually data governance is. And technology is a small part of it. So you need some tools like a data catalog or whatever to be better and be faster. But it's more the people, the processes, the roles, the regulations and all that stuff that really makes data governance to go. So that is really the thing where we need the most of the time to tell the customers what actually are the problems you have with the current state, because the ungoverned state, it's not often the target. We tell them, okay, you need to do data governance to reach this. It's more like to show them what is not possible with their current ungoverned state, to get them aware, to tell them, okay, you're losing money because you have to do manual stuff every month for the monthly reporting. You're losing money because you don't know where the data actually is stored. You need time to find it. And those are the trigger sentences and discussion points to get people to get aware.
So you're basically talking about waste.
Yes, yeah.
Money is left because of
waste, risk, and it's like you open the window and just put out the money.
Away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you already said basically you don't need tools for this, right?
Basically, they really help. But for the data governance, it's like you can open a notebook, pencil, and write those rules down to find out who's responsible for a system. Well, pencil, notebook, that's okay. But there are tools that help. Like when I think of a data catalog, where you can define who's responsible, what actually is the data that is stored in there, and with the search capabilities, you are faster. And you could use Excel for that, but the Excel file you use today, it's already old because there was a change in your data landscape a minute ago. So that's the thing where I see technology as the booster to get better, to get faster, to be more accurate. But it's not that when customers say, hey, we want to implement Purview and now we are into governance.
Yeah.
No, it's a way, maybe a part of the strategy, but it's not the solution on its own. Yeah.
That's a part of the solution.
It's a part of the solution. And there are specialized tools and there are different ways how you can start your governance journey. And sometimes it's a Word document where you just write those things down that are currently there. Yeah.
What would be the top? You may mention 3 or 5. I don't know, but what are the top things that companies should start doing when they do not have data governance in place?
What I see is define the responsibilities. Who's in charge of a system, or to me more specific, a data domain or a data product? Who's in charge of your customer data? Who is the person that is allowed to define the required attributes of a customer? Who defines what are the attributes that a customer entry is like full, which is usable? And those are like very, very important things, so responsibilities. And then what is actually the data you use? So get an overview about your data landscape and the classification. Because with that, like GDPR, if you get the request, hey, I want my money deleted, or not my money, sorry, my information, I need to know where it is actually stored. And if I have to do it every time I have got that request, for sure I'll forget the system. And with a tool, I have the opportunity to know it just on the fly. Whenever I say I need customer data, and it's marked, and that really helps.
And when you talk about tools, what tools?
There are many out there, but
Your personal
I think
favorites?
I think I'm going to talk about Microsoft Purview.
Yeah.
So the part in the Microsoft Purview universe, the data governance, the data cataloging part. Purview, it's security,
very
compliance, and the governance part. And the data catalog, it started as Azure Purview, and now they renamed it into Microsoft Purview Data Governance. And it's a tool where you can scan your data sources, Azure SQL, Fabric, data lakes, SQL Server on premises, Oracle, SAP.
Yeah.
And you get those data assets, a table, a lakehouse table, a semantic model, and you can add classification to that one.
Yeah.
And that really helps people and organizations to understand their data landscape, because they know, okay, we've got an ERP, we've got a CRM, and what Purview also can do is to connect those dots. If there is like a data factory pipeline, there is a connection, and the data lineage gets end to end.
Okay, so
That is really a thing. I started as a data warehouse developer, and those are the questions. Where does that value come from?
Exactly,
What are the
explainability, yeah.
And that really helps to get the better understanding. And Purview, you think of it as a global catalog, because there is lineage in Fabric, for example, too. So you've got the lineage, what happens in Fabric, from the lakehouse, a notebook, another lakehouse, a warehouse, a semantic model. And you can say, okay, Fabric, it's the local catalog, the one lake catalog. And the global catalog in Purview, you've got Fabric as one piece. And that's really the overall data landscape which really matters. It's not only one system where...
Yeah, it's not a silo, you want to have everything in one place. Yeah.
And that's the thing where Purview kicks in. You can also connect to the Unity catalog of Databricks and integrate that one into your Purview, in the unified catalog, they call it. Yeah.
How much time does an average company need to start cataloging the data when they have the right tools?
With Purview, it's quite easy. So I think most of the time it takes to have the permissions in place and everything configured. But the scanning, it's quite fast. I would say, like, after a day, you've got something in the data cat, you can have a look. For sure, you should structure your data map and all that stuff. But it's really a good start, and after a day, it's like you've got something in your data catalog which you can show, like as a small POC or whatever. Yeah.
PepCon was only 2 weeks ago. There were some announcements I heard from around Purview, because scanning was pretty expensive in the past, right?
Yes, it was. So
it was.
They changed it. The licensing was in the past. You had to pay like a base fee, and then you had to pay every scan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
the larger the database, the more the scan would cost. But now they changed it. And they changed it to quite a simple thing. You are now licensed based on the number of governed asset. So a governed asset, you've got the data map, the technical, all the tables in there. And then you've got data products. And every asset that is assigned to a data product, that one counts. That is a governed asset. So imagine, in my demo environment, I've got 17,000 data assets in the technical data map. They don't count. The scans are not counted, and we don't have to pay for them. It's only those assets I assign to a data product. And in my case, I have roughly 40 assets really assigned to a data product. So 40 data assets I have to pay.
Okay, so once you start to using it more seriously, so because you're assigning assets yourself, so you take attention and care for that, then that's what you're going to pay for.
Yeah, that's one part of the story, so the governed data assets. And there are some, I think they call it data governance units. So it's the performance, the compute power, you need to update the reports in it. You need to update the health actions and all that stuff. And also if you do data quality in Purview, that's also counted against those data governance units. But they are pretty cheap. I think one unit is 20 euros, and it really depends how many or what's the schedule of your report refreshes and all that stuff, how many data quality rules you run. And that one, but it's much cheaper compared to before.
Yeah, so the threshold to start using Purview has become much lower.
That was the problem. Many of our customers, because you had to pay it for the whole month. So it was roughly 400 euros, and you couldn't pause it. And it was just there. And for a small company, they wanted to try it and do the import, and then, and you couldn't pause it. You had to delete the account, and you had to do all the work again. And right now, I scan it into the data map, and whenever we are ready, we assign it to
exactly.
a data
So you
product.
can start using it, have a broad look at what's inside the scan, so to say, and then you can take it from there. And
And for the technical users, the data map, it's the thing you need. Yeah, the data products is more the business view. It's the logical grouping of your data domains and the products and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, good to know. Once all that data is in Purview, because Purview basically collects all kinds of metadata, data about your data.
Yeah.
Can you use that in other ways as well, outside of Purview itself?
The integration could be better. So when they announced it, or in the start, they had an integration in Data Factory and Synapse. So you could connect your Purview account to Synapse and then start search, and you got the data map results in there. Right now, there is no real connection to Fabric. And my session today was about building a reporting solution based on Purview data. And there are options. Basically, it's APIs.
Yes.
And the other one is there is an automatic metadata push from Purview into a Fabric lakehouse.
Yes.
So that is done in the background, and you have got the list of data domains, data products, data assets, data quality, and even data quality rule execution results. So how many rows failed and all that stuff. And I've built a demo for that to build my custom reporting based on Purview. So it's not the direct connect, but for some customers we think of building a custom user interface on top of Purview, but using the APIs and fetch the data on the fly.
Yeah, but then you have the live data, so to say.
Yeah. So the other thing is really, I think the schedule is by default every day. So you've got the data from yesterday, but in a data catalog, I think that's okay to have that one.
Yeah, for that purpose, that would be fine.
Okay. If people don't use Purview yet, but they do have Fabric in-house, they already have some Purview parts, right?
They have some Purview parts, so especially from the security area, like sensitivity labels, data loss prevention policies, and information protection policies, they got into GA at FabCon. So the direct connection to secure your data, if it's in SharePoint Online, in an email, or in Fabric, it's a similar structure, so similar policies. And also for the governance part, there is a similar thing than the Purview data catalog. It's the one lake catalog, which you have built inside of Fabric. And you've got a concept for adding tags, so classifications. You can group your workspaces into domains. And you can use all the information you add to your Fabric items and search and be faster to discover the right items using the one lake catalog. So that is a thing which is getting more and more attraction and more features, like one lake security. That one was announced into public preview at FabCon, and there's also a tab in the one lake catalog which shows you all the defined roles and secured item all in your one lake. So that is really, I think the idea from the Fabric team is to have one entry point to all your Fabric data, but it stops at the boundaries of Fabric, so no information about the source systems, no lineage into the source system, so then you need another data cataloging solution.
Yeah. So what would be your call to action to people who already have Fabric, OneLake?
I would have a closer look at the OneLake catalog. I would like to tell the people, have a look at the tags, the endorsements, and the domains to structure your Fabric environment, and then see how the OneLake catalog works. Because OneLake catalog, it's in the Fabric portal, but it's also available in Excel, in Power BI desktop. So if you open Power BI desktop, open from OneLake catalog, you've got the same filter options. All the metadata comes together. If you open Excel, connect to OneLake catalog, you've got the same filter options.
Okay, so once you make sure you populate that, then you could use it in different places.
And it's not only that you have the Fabric portal and it's there, it's, as I said, in Excel, and you just...
Highly integrated.
Very nice thing, and it's there, it doesn't cost you extra, so...
Why not try use it?
Start exploring it, start using it, and start governing your data.
That's the easiest way how to start it. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Wolfgang, for being this inspiring. I hope it was a good episode for you. Als dat zo is, switching to Dutch again. Steek even een duimpje omhoog. Abonneer je op het kanaal als je dat nog niet gedaan hebt. En tot de volgende aflevering.